Okay, something that doesn't get done much anymore is bending cooler lines, and we used to do it all the time back in the day. So I got all the stuff to do it with. We got a carryout that came in, and if you watch my channel, you know how much I hate carryouts. But this is what they stuck in the back end back here, and they had a rubber line going off of here. I'll show you the tranny here in a minute. The whole thing is wiped out because it's not getting any lube, and trying to talk to this customer and explain everything to him, I can tell already it's going to be a problem. So anyway, I wanted to run a metal line, and of course, since I don't have the vehicle here, I don't know how long I need to make it. And I asked the guy to tell me what the distance is between here and where the line's been cut, and it's beyond him to be able to do that. So I can already tell when this unit gets put in, if he puts it in without breaking the pump, there's going to be nothing but trouble. The vehicle's going to end up here, and we're going to end up fixing all this stuff for free anyway. That's one of the reasons I don't like carryouts. So anyway, I was going to buy a line, and trying to find a Chrysler line to begin with, because Chryslers have a female fitting, Chevys have a male fitting. Trying to find the lines with this back when things were okay was next to impossible. So they don't even have the Chevy one. I asked for a Chevy one. I'd cut the line, I'd change the fitting, and I'd bend it myself. Can't do that because nobody's got one, or at least they don't want to try to find one. So what we have here is a line that I found that's been laying around here that was taken off of some vehicle for some reason. So I got the Chevy fitting. I'm going to change it to the Chrysler. I'm going to have to bend this a little bit straight so that I can get this fitting off. It's bent the wrong way anyway. What we want is this thing to be bent and come down in such a way it's going to come down across right here. And try not to be too much in the way of that, but we really don't want to be in the way of our linkage here. So let's see if we can bend this without kinking this thing up too much, and see how lucky we get. So the first thing we're going to need to do is try to straighten this out. And we're going to put this opposite of the way it would normally be. And try to put the beginning of that right on the 0 mark. Alright. Now, I'm going to have to try to get that straightened out right there. It's where it's kind of compressed. It's not round anymore. Almost was a kink. Okay, what I'm going to have to do, more than likely, is go over here to the vise, and I'm going to have to find something to kind of try to round this out. Let me do that and I'll be back. Okay, I got it kind of rounded back out. Now I'm going to have to kind of straighten this line out. Get it somewhat straight. We're not totally straight, but we can get the fitting off now. Put our new fitting on. And we're going to want to come out to about right there. Put a 90 degree on this. We'll line that up with our 0 mark and then just bend that to 90 degrees right there. And give a little tweak down so that we come down around here. Probably gonna want to go about 30 degrees. You can always add more. Alright, I'm going to leave it right about there. Yeah, I need to go hunt a compression fitting. Hopefully he can understand how to work that thing after I explain it to him. We'll see. That's pretty much how you bend a cooler line. It's a little out of shape, but it's going to work for our purposes. And it's hard to get these things straightened back out once they've been bent. But it looks fairly good right there. It should get them halfway up to the oil pan, so hopefully it's cut somewhere around the bell housing area. It's usually where they're cut. And if you need to cut your cooler lines, you've got tubing cutters that you can get. Snap-on trucks sell these. In fact, you can get a whole kit. If you need to flare the ends where the end of this was to fit onto the roundness of that, get you a double flaring kit and double flare it. And it's cooler line disconnect tools for the 5/16 lines, and I'm going to go ahead and leave that in here. Even if you're doing rubber lines, you're going to want to double flare them, because if you just single flare when you're trying to put that hose up on there, it leaves a rough edge, and when you put your hose clamp down, it's going to cut the clamp. I'll put where did I put it? This one here is made by Imperial Eastman tubing tool kit. Does not have a part number on it, but there's all different ones. I've used this many a time. It's always done me well. This tubing bender is Imperial Eastman also, 368-FH. There's 1/4 inch, 5/16 and 3/8 lines. And it works really well. I don't need to get super fancy with this stuff. Let's see. Hope this guy gets this thing done. I don't want him putting that back on there. Odds are when he puts this in there, he's going to break the case anyway. That's usually what they do. Can't go in too far on the Chryslers, it will split the case. I'll get the camera off of here and we'll go show you what happened to this tranny. had no lube going through it. Alright, so this is what happened to the and back into that case. It's all welded together. Can't even get it apart. It was wiped out all the way up to the pump. So bending tubing's not too difficult once you get used to it. You might screw up the first couple times that you try to do a bend, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty simple. And used to run lines all the way from the tranny all the way up to the radiator, and you know how difficult that can be on some vehicles. But it's the best way to do it instead of splicing in. If you gotta splice, you gotta splice, but try not to ever use a rubber line on your vehicles, because it's just not a good fix, long-term fix. This is the best. All right, we'll catch you on the next video.